And welcome into Getting Help from Uncle Sam. And just remember this, November the 5th, if you've been under a rock, you probably will not realize an election is coming up. And to make the election go smoothly, it all rests on the shoulders of this young man right here, Judge Love. So glad you are the probate judge in Montgomery County.
Yes, I am.
But we need to let our viewers know that a lot of things that happen in Montgomery County can be the same in their counties, except you're more streamlined in a lot of things you do.
Well, we have the probate court where we handle the wills, the administration, guardianships, adoptions, and voluntary mental health commitments. But we also issue driver's license renewals, register vehicles, oversee elections, the archives, records and recording, and marriage and business licenses. So we control a lot of daily life here in Montgomery County.
So let's give our viewers tips about making Election Day, November 5th, as seamless as possible.
Well, yes, as you know, as some of your viewers may be aware, that we've got a lot of calls concerned regarding voters, particularly regarding voter safety in light of the thwarted terrorist attack back in Oklahoma. And so we're really just trying to really ensure voters, as well as our poll workers, that we are aware of the threats and that we work closely with the FBI, Department of Homeland Security, and the Sheriff's Department. And we have a plan in place for Election Day. And so, as always, we'll have a command center that'll be open, be staffed, and tell your viewers if they see anything that looks unusual at the polls, go ahead and report it, and we'll go out there and investigate it.
But, and you will report it at the polls to a poll worker?
They can report it to a poll worker, someone inside, or if they see one of the sheriff deputies out there in the parking lot. But we've got a plan in place, and so you can be rest assured that your safety and security is of our utmost importance, and we don't want anyone to give in to fear and not go and vote in the support an election.
And of course, on that day, the polls are open from 7 to 7.
Yes, 7 a.m., 7 p.m., and if you happen to be in line by 7 p.m., we're going to go ahead and keep that poll open to make sure any voter that's in line by 7 p.m. will get a chance to vote. Yeah,
the operative word, you got to be in line.
Yes.
Don't show up at 7:30 if the line's still out there and say, okay, I'm in the line now, because they will close it off at that point.
Oh, you'll be looking inside of a locked door. So. But yes, so I just want to also remind you voters who may elect to vote absentee that they have until October 29th to request an absentee ballot be sent to them by mail, or they can go and pick up an absentee ballot by going to the absentee election manager's office.
And that's downtown, right?
Yes, that's at the big courthouse, the county courthouse on the first floor, and they'll be able to give you one, and you can also complete it while you're there. So in about 10 minutes, if you have time, then not only you can go ahead and complete your application, but you'd also vote your absentee ballot and have that done. And then once you're sent, then you got 2 more deadlines that you can go and hand deliver your absentee ballot by November 4th by 5 p.m. back to the courthouse, or it has to be received by mail on Election Day. And so don't wait to the last minute if you're going to go and return it by mail. Make sure you send it early to make sure that it is received by noon on Election Day so it can be counted.
Okay, so it has to be received at the courthouse by noon on Election Day?
Yes.
Okay. And then they're all counted on Election Day, are they not, all the absentees?
Yeah, they're all counted. Due to the volume, number of ballots, they'll generally start about 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon to make sure that they are counted and reported by the time the polls close and the first returns start coming in. So generally on election night, the first numbers that come in are your absentee numbers.
Okay, and that's good. And if a person wants to find out where they need to vote, they can go online to your website.
Yes, they can go online to the Montgomery Election Center's website at MontgomeryVotes.gov or the Secretary of State's website at AlabamaVotes.gov. They can also call the Board of Registrars, and that number is 334-832-1215, because they're the group that manages the voting list. So they'll tell you what precinct you're in, where you're going to go to vote. And if you have any questions regarding whether or not you're still an active voter or you're a registered voter, you can call them and they can verify your election status.
And basically, when you're voting in Montgomery County, by the time midnight hits on the 5th, you're done, supposedly.
Well, we hopefully, generally, we've been able to get everything reported by 9 p.m.
See, so that
has been something that's been great, that we're really trying to make sure we get the results tabulated and reported as quickly as possible. And so Generally, normally they'll start coming in 8:10, 8:15, and we'll be hopefully fully reported by, 9 at the latest.
And everything's done here is with electronic machines.
Well, we have their electronic, they record your ballots, and then we get the sticks, and then we go ahead and feed it in and go ahead and collect them. But we still have the paper ballots to go ahead and as a backup to be able to check.
You'll vote on a paper ballot.
You check on the, and we also at the polls, we also have the express votes. You'll see voters will have two options. They have the normal paper Scantron ballot they can complete with the pen, but there'll also be at least 4 of these paper ballot-based touchscreen voting machines called express votes they can also vote in. And they may find that given the number of different races on this election, they'll be out a lot sooner by just pushing and printing out their ballot that way than going in and circling a bunch of circles.
And a key question, because a lot of our viewers are a little bit older, if you're an older person, you need somebody to come along with you. Is that allowed? To help in the
you can
process?
go ahead and help you to go ahead and get to the polls, but
you go in by yourself.
Yeah, you go in by yourself,
Yeah.
but you can ask for assistance when you get in the polls. So if you got a special need, there is a priority for elderly residents to be able to get to the front of the line to be able to vote. But you have to go ahead and ask and say to move. We just can't go ahead and pull you and say, hey, do you want to go ahead and go first, or we see someone that has a special need to go ahead and pull them to the front, that they have to elect to want to be able to get that accommodation.
Great. Well, you're going to be a busy guy on November
Yes.
5th. You're a busy guy every day, but more so on November 5th. And we want to thank you for the good work you do.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back right after this.